I was 6 years old when the war broke out, and they took us to Topaz on these trains from the camp in Tanfran. And they took us down to Topaz, which was in central Utah. And that's where we were for the next 3 years. In the camp, we were all living under the same conditions, but it wasn't like that after we got out. It was like they gave us $25 each and a bus ticket, and just told us we were on our own. I think it's important for students to realize what happened to a group of people. And the reason I talk to them is that I want them to know that it happened to real people, not just numbers, you know.
The Japanese American National Museum is a really special place. We are a national museum, but also very much community-based. We were founded in 1985 by a group of community business leaders here in Los Angeles' Little Tokyo neighborhood, as well as some World War II veterans who really thought it was really important to tell the Japanese American story. The mission of the Japanese American National Museum is to promote an understanding and appreciation of America's ethnic and cultural diversity by sharing the Japanese American experience. We have over 150,000 artifacts in our collection, so we tell our narrative through our objects. We have artwork, we have photographs, we have documents that tell the history from late 1800s when Japanese Americans first immigrated to the United States from Japan, and telling that story of that community of coming from new opportunities and going through into World War II, which is certainly a large part of the narrative that we tell here. We explored the forced removal of the West Coast Japanese Americans, and they were put into America's concentration camps, and really exploring that injustice and thinking about why it's important to recognize and to learn that history. The Nissan Foundation has been supporting JANM for many, many years, and it allows us to bring students to the museum free of charge through our Bid for Education granting program, which provides transportation and admission for all Title I schools. 70% of our students that come to the museum are coming from Title I schools, and it's really important for us that we're able to provide that experience to them with as little barriers as possible.
The Japanese American National Museum is a 19-time Nissan Foundation grantee. More than 15,000 elementary, middle, and high school students make their way through this museum each year, seeing, perhaps for the first time, the unique contributions of Japanese Americans to our history and to our culture. The Nissan Foundation views cultural and ethnic diversity as an enhancing factor of society and is proud to support the Japanese American National Museum as it educates students and their families about the Japanese American experience.
Since its launch 30 years ago, the Nissan Foundation has endeavored to promote the value of cultural diversity and build inclusive communities across the United States. When students are able to walk the halls of the Japanese American National Museum and speak with survivors of America's concentration camps, they come away with a new appreciation for a culture and ethnicity that may be very different from their own. It is our hope that in turn, these young people begin to understand and to appreciate the value of our differences.